Welcome to TBN Gameday Live, your home for St. James Athletics. I'm alongside Jonathan May and Isaac Woltz today. Let's recap a couple of the sports we've seen this week for St. James. Volleyball right now tied for first in the EKL. They're going to be playing Blue Valley West on Tuesday at West. That game potentially going to decide where St. James finishes in the EKL, so big game for the Thunder volleyball team. And then on the soccer pitch, St. James down 2-0 to Mill Valley, comes back and wins in overtime, so a great win for the boys. But last week's St. James football game, they lost 20-10 against Blue Valley, but they're looking to come back this week against St. Pius. I'd like to introduce head coach of the St. James Academy Thunder, Tom Radke.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Well, I'll take the clap. Sure. Yes.
Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Yeah, thanks. Yes.
All right, so a team coming off a tough loss last week, obviously, had a really good win to start the year, 3 straight losses after that. How do you get the team kind of back to where they're at in week 1?
Yeah, we've had really good weeks of practice. That's the frustrating part, and we're just not producing on Friday night. The guys are still in good spirits. Like I said, we just had a couple mistakes last week, cost us 10 points and those 2 bad snaps on the punts. But other than that, the guys are playing really hard, really fast, just making too many mistakes in EKL.
Yeah, I know. I said before we started filming that to Isaac and Will, really if you take away about 7 plays from that game on Friday, I think we win. And so I agree, we're very close. We're right there. We just have to get a few balls to bounce our way. Obviously, big loss last week. Tyson Bishore hurts his hamstring. Does that, and then Frankie has to step in as quarterback. I know you said he's had a really good week at practice. Does that change the game plan at all on offense, especially? Do you call different plays? Do you have to shrink the playbook at all, or do you have full confidence to just kind of let Frankie take the reins and run with it?
No, honestly, we're ready to go. We didn't lengthen practice at all to get any more reps for Frankie. He's been really good. He's dominated the JV games that we've had him play in. He's been playing receiver a little bit too, so the Friday Night Lights won't bother him at all. But no, he's ready to go. We haven't shrunk anything. Actually, we added a few extra things for him this week just because he's a lefty and we can do some different things there too. So, so there'll be some extra stuff for you this week.
All right, I'll be looking forward to it.
So what's it like for a quarterback like Frankie, right, coming in as a backup? What's it like for him to have 2 receivers like Parker Chase and Sam Neese on the outside they're so solid for the St. James team?
Well, it makes it really easy for him to step right in, right? So that's the key there. So we've got some really good targets out there, and Alex Jett's coming along too, and Brody Brugman, we put him in the varsity a little bit too. He had, again, dominated JV game. So he's looking really good right now too. So, but with Neeson and Parker out there, just throw it up and make some plays.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what else? You're looking ahead to St. Pius this week. What have you seen on film, and kind of how do you plan to game plan for that team coming up this week?
Yeah, Pius, their seniors have played the last 2 years. They've started. So they started against us 2 years ago when they were sophomores. So they're a really experienced football team. They've had a couple of guys move in too that have helped them out. And so they're not the St. Pius team that we've seen the last 3 years we played them. So they're very physical. They get after it. Their head coach I coached him when I was an assistant coach at Pius with Coach Byers. So he coached them really well. So we know this is another EKL opponent, and we're approaching it that way. And again, we had a really good week of practice so far.
All right, we welcome you back in here. We've got a little bit of a trivia game for Coach Radke. Each of us are going to ask him 2 questions about past seasons at St. James. We're going to see how many questions he can get right. So, Jonathan, we'll let you get us started.
All right. In St. James' 2022 game against Aquinas, which player led the team with 201 receiving yards in the game?
That would have been John. No, it was Callahan Houston.
It was John Neeson.
No!
You had it. You changed the answer at the last seconds.
He had a big game that day too, so.
All right, next question here. In 2021, this player led the team with 84 catches for 1,099 yards and 14 touchdowns. What player was that?
Iowa State Cyclones, Ty Claiborne.
That is right.
I was talking about
There
those
you go.
Cyclones.
In last year's matchup against St. Pius, what was the final score in the SJA victory?
It was 36 to 14.
34-17.
Oh, man!
So close. Do you have the 2 from the year before? The 2 years before that?
2022 and 2021, you know those two?
Since
For the
our
Pius
freshman
scores?
year. Yeah, do you remember?
One was 42 to 10.
Close.
49-14.
Oh, that was a good game.
That is close.
And 30. The other one probably 35 to 7.
33-13.
Man.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close. Pretty good memory.
Thank you.
Back to me.
Yep.
Okay. Against who did St. James get their first win of 2020?
St. Pius, actually. 2020 was COVID year.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would have
Before.
been Eudora.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Who was St. James' first win in the playoffs in the 2021 state title run?
2020 Lewisburg.
That's right.
Yep.
There you go.
Which
on a
player led the team in rushing in 2022?
Oh, Chave Watts.
No, Blake Boydston.
Blake
Boydston did.
Oh,
QB.
2021?
2022.
2022, yeah. Chave Watts is 21. Yeah.
That kind of surprised me a little bit
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
quarterback did.
Yep.
Who was our running back that year?
Tujek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
sophomore.
yeah,
His
it
first
was
year.
John. That's
That's right.
right. That's
Brady
right.
and John.
Yep. All right. Well, Coach, we'd like to thank you for coming on so much today. Really appreciate you taking the time with us.
Thanks, guys. Had
Yeah,
fun.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
All right, we welcome you into our prediction segment here, picking the top 5 games in the state of Kansas. Let's take you through a recap of the last 4 weeks. Isaac currently in last amongst the 4 of us at 10-10. Zach, who is not here today, shows up at 12-8. Jonathan, 13-7. He was perfect last week. And I am still in the lead at 14-6. So first game of the week we are picking here is going to be Derby and Hutchinson. Jonathan, who you got in that one?
I'm going to take Derby. They're powerhouse in 6A. Usually are in the playoffs, if not all the way into the state title, winning it or runner-up. I think they've got it this week against Hutchinson, so I'll take them.
Yeah, I'm also going with Derby. Derby's been great, as he just said. They have a 4-star tight end. I think they're going to easily beat Hutchinson.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Derby here. I think, this is a really, really experienced Derby team, so I think they're going to get the win against Hutchinson. Zach is also going to be picking Derby this week.
Zach's pick should not count this
Yeah,
week.
Zach
Why
does
not?
not
Why not?
wake up on time.
He didn't wake up on time. He isn't here. He should go 0-5.
We'll let him
Absolutely.
make his picks here, and then if they go well, maybe we can just take him
Yeah,
away.
if he does
Is that
better,
fair?
if he does better
Yeah.
than 3-2,
Yeah,
he goes 0-5.
3-2 is the ceiling.
Yes.
All right, so next game we're picking here, Blue Valley Northwest against Blue Valley West. Isaac, who you got in this one?
Blue Valley Northwest, I think they're going to win in their O-line, D-line. Their run game's just so good. I think they're winning.
Yeah, I picked against them last week. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to go Blue Valley West. I think this is going to be a close game, but I think it's a Northwest team that is a little bit exposable, especially because of that quarterback situation. So I'm going to go West. Zach is also going Blue Valley Northwest here. Jonathan, where are you going?
I'm going to agree with Isaac here, but I think this is going to be a very close game. Probably the best game of the week that we're picking. Like Isaac said, I think that Blue Valley Northwest offensive line and defensive line, they're very talented, and I talk a lot about controlling the line of scrimmage and how the team that does that better has the upper hand in this game. And I think that Northwest is going to be able to do that in this game. Blue Valley West is a talented team, but I think Blue Valley Northwest just has the edge. I'm going with the Huskies.
All right, next game here, a couple of rivals for the Thunder. St. Thomas Aquinas will be facing off with Bishop Miege. Zach, in this one, picked St. Thomas Aquinas, and I'm going to have to agree with him here. I'm going to go Aquinas. They have looked really, really good these first 4 weeks. I think they've impressed a lot of people. This is a game, maybe you're on upset watch. Maybe they could be looking over the Stags a little bit here, but I'm still going to go St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hard to pick against Aquinas with how well they've looked, how well they've been playing this season, how good they've looked. And Miege, like you said last week, we're not impressed with them week 1. They've yet to find a win. Now, that does kind of mean they'll be desperate for one. They'll be looking to get one any way they can. And against a rival, like you said, Will, it could be the week to kind of catch them sleeping. But I think Aquinas is just too good. I think they get this one by multiple touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Aquinas, even though it is very hard to see Miege starting 0-5. Just the Aquinas offense is just so hard to defend. I think their high point production this year is going to continue.
Yeah, should be a good game there. Definitely one we'll be monitoring during the week. Next game we're picking here, Blue Valley against Blue Valley North. Jonathan, who you got in this one?
I'm going Blue Valley, and I feel like this one also will not be very close. Blue Valley is a very good team. You saw them beat the Thunder last week. They've had some big wins early in the season, even though they did have that one loss to Aquinas. And Blue Valley North, I believe, is 1-3. Not the greatest team in the EKL, as Isaac ruthlessly pointed out last week. So I think Blue Valley's got this one. I think they just have too much talent.
Yeah, I think Blue Valley is a hard one because Blue Valley didn't really have much offensive production last week. So I think it might be closer than Johnny is thinking. but Blue Valley's still going to win.
Would have been great if you chose Blue Valley North after going to the laughing stock of the EKL last week. Zach is going Blue Valley in this one. I'm going to have to agree with everyone else at the table. I'm going to go Blue Valley. Kind of just a tough game for me to see North winning. Though, like we said, Blue Valley maybe not the strongest week last week against the Thunder. Final game we're picking here, Olathe East and Shawnee Mission Northwest. Isaac, who you got in this one?
I'm going Shawnee Mission Northwest. Sure, Olathe East is 4-0, but none of their wins look like super impressive on paper, so I'm going Shawnee Mission Northwest.
Yeah, Zach's also going Shawnee Mission Northwest. I'm going to go Olathe East here. I think, the being 4-0, right, having some of those experienced and wins, right, I think that carries over even when you're playing against teams that are better and maybe even a little bit more talented than you. So I think, it's a 4-0 team. It's a team that has the wins. I think they're going to keep that streak going. They're going to lose at some point during these next couple of games, but I think they fight past Shawnee Mission Northwest here.
This is a tough one for me because I agree it's kind of hard to argue with the 4-0, but also, as Isaac said, looking at their schedule, their quality of wins not the highest. And Shawnee Mission Northwest is a good team. They lost to Gardner by 1 point, considered one of the best teams in the state. They've got some other quality games. They're 2-2 compared to 4-0, but their strength of schedule, I think, has been a lot higher. So this is really a tough one for me. I told Isaac before the show that I was going to go Shawnee Mission Northwest, but I think I'm going to flip and go with Will and take Olathe East. He's in first in our standings for a reason. He knows what he's talking about a little bit. So I'm going to go Olathe East with Will, and hopefully that doesn't bite us both.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the hardest to pick game here out of these 5, Olathe East and Shawnee Mission Northwest. We'd like to thank everybody here for watching TBN Game Day Live. Remember to tune in at 6:30 next week. And for Jonathan May and Isaac Wolitz, I'm Will Nichols, and now let's send it up to the booth at St. Thomas Aquinas.